A bit later as race 1 of the Final Four is starting right now with Georgetown in yellow and St. Mary's in the blue boats. So they're just about to get underway with about 5 seconds left in their sequence, and here we go.
So just to quickly give some implications as we head into this Final Four, Yale with 3 losses, Georgetown and St. Mary's with 5 losses, and BC with 6 losses. So all teams at this point still mathematically have a chance to win the regatta. Basically, each race Yale wins, they knock off one more team from winning. So if Yale beats BC in their next race, that would knock BC out. If Yale beats St. Mary's, they clinch the title. So they really need to either beat St. Mary's or beat 2 other teams. But at this point, again, if anybody wins out and Yale loses out, any one team has a chance of winning this regatta at this point. So we enter with the championship, the wood, up for grabs at this point for any of these 4 teams. Off the line here in this race, Georgetown, St. Mary's, and Georgetown looks to be off the line pretty well here. 2 pairs
St. Mary's
on the right.
had one boat that was well back at the start, number 6. But the other boats seem to start pretty well, although they're not looking that strong now.
And we're seeing a bit of a velocity increase in the breeze as well, as you see all the crews are pretty much sitting on the rail hiking. So I don't know if that's going to change too much. It's certainly the windiest we've seen it all weekend, I would say. But an increase in boat traffic as well, as you can also see just the very lumpy on the race course at the moment. And the sun is starting to poke through slightly, so that could only increase as the day goes on.
Yeah, Georgetown's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, St. Mary's absolutely in chase mode right now, losing both pairs on the right, and quite possibly losing this pair on the far left. Maybe a weak hold with boat 4 and boat 17 at best. So Georgetown, or St. Mary's may be hoping boat 4 can hold on to the left, hold on to first place, and hope they round 156. I think is the best case scenario right now.
Yeah.
And what's queuing up on deck right now, we have BC and Yale, a rematch of the cardiac-inducing finale that we had to get final confirmation on twice, and that one's just about to get underway. But we'll stick with this one right now: St. Mary's and Georgetown as they're making their way up to the weather.
Yeah,
mark.
this is obviously an important race in the Final Four. These 2 teams are tied for second, and the winner, still has a shot at Yale. Although St. Mary's chances would be better since they have beaten Yale in a race, and as such could win a tiebreak over Yale.
Right, and Georgetown 0-2 against Yale, so Georgetown is not on the tiebreak, so Georgetown would really need Yale to lose out here.
Yes, Georgetown would need to win all 3, Yale would need to lose all 3 for Georgetown to win.
The title could actually be decided in these 2 races here, as we see St. Mary's losing this first race. If St. Mary's is to lose and Yale is to win their first race, that would do it, I believe, for Yale.
I think you're right.
So looking up at the top here, we've got Georgetown riding in a 1-2. But St. Mary's staying close, 3-4-5. So Georgetown, boat 17, Nevin Snow is in the 6, and actually Georgetown
boat 16
looks like boat 16 spinning. That's Sean.
Yeah, they
Goldman
didn't
again.
quite make it around the mark without a port starboard.
So a 2-3-4 for St. Mary's that keeps their hopes for the title alive.
Pretty nice visuals as the breeze is starting to pipe up. The boats can get cooking a little bit faster, and seems to be still pretty comfortable in their 2-3-4. However, that one yellow boat for Georgetown, what number is that? 16.
Boat 16.
Has started to become a little bit more of a factor. They had a little lane coming downwind, got some nice pressure, and now certainly mixing it up, as you can see right now, jibing with boat 5.
Furiously jibing back and forth.
Just hucking the pine back and forth.
So boat 16 really just looking for an opportunity to get across boat 4. So they're trying to separate from boat 5 and waiting for an opportunity that they can sneak back across the bow of boat 4 and solidify at least one boat behind them and try and make a play 4 happen.
Mark trap at the bottom.
Looks like a protest from 18, and boat 6 is spinning. So St. Mary's boat 5, Alex Curtis got his work cut out for him.
Very quick spin though, already back in the mix with 16 getting a piece. I'm seeing a protest hail from boat 16.
Against
6 might have been a port starboard incident, and it looked like 6 might have fouled there.
green flag, so St. Mary's is able to round 2, 3, 4 here.
How about that?
Despite that possible foul with both 6 and 16. 16
was a wild
hailing
run.
for contact, but sounds like the umpires didn't think so. And I'm looking at boat 6 here, and they look like they're steering the tiller with their hand. I think we might have lost the tiller extension here. So,
oh boy, that's going to make it hard on the next
that's
leg.
That's going to make it difficult here.
Oh, look at this. They go right around almost into first.
What's the, you normally get,
oh my God,
you normally get breakdown scenarios, but it depends on how it broke. If the rubber piece broke, then I feel like that is a little more redressable than something else breaking on it.
Yeah, so breakdown for sure for St. Mary's here. So,
but if they can hold on to the win right now, I don't think it'll matter.
That's
right,
correct.
Brooks.
They want to win this race without any sort of hearing.
We're cut out for boats 4 and 5 here. The roll kind of falls on them as boat 6 is just going to try and sail up the course. They're not going to be very maneuverable sailing without a tiller extension. So really, they're just hoping to.
That's Marcus Hedegren steering with his feet, with an outstretched arm, with his teeth, anything he can to steer that boat.
Full style point.
And he's a factor in this race.
He is moving faster.
Yeah, that's a big guy. He certainly is appreciative of this bigger, as we've seen the velocity pipe up.
But on the left here, Sean Golden gets a piece of Alex Curtis here. So.
Yeah, boat 4 and boat 5 for the Hoyas are still.
And he drops the tiller too. I don't know what that was about.
Well, so, I'm not sure St. Mary's can hang on to this. They've lost the pair on the left.
And their pair on the right still
Marcus
sailing.
Is not going to be able to win that race with no tiller extension. So right now, boat 4 is leading for St. Mary's. I would say they're leading. Hedegren finally turned around on the finish.
Looks like we
did not have the bullet.
It looks like we see a Georgetown boat through the line, and boat 6 is just going straight downwind to try to get back in on the party here.
Yeah, sailing without a tiller extension. Remember, boat 6.
Excuse me, that was a St. Mary's boat through the line already, not a Georgetown boat.
I expect we're going to see well, maybe not.
Yeah, there's no way they can win that without having a hearing for the breakdown and then resailing it.
I think they've just crossed the line. I think they've given up on trying to convert the 236. They're going to try and have a hearing for that broken tiller extension.
The graphic on your screen.
Yeah, it shows St. Mary's. St. Mary's is actually St. Mary's Georgetown. St. Mary's in blue, Georgetown.
That's what was confusing.
And a red flag.
Red flag on boat 5, it seems like, for the Hoyas. So St. Mary's might be able to.
That's for St.
You're
Mary's.
right. Excuse me. On St. Mary's. So the Hoyas might be squeaking through here.
So Hoyas are going to cross in a 1-4-5, it looks like.
But obviously we saw the tiller extension breakdown, so we'll see what happened there. I don't know, what's the redress process, Ken? Or Johnny, I don't know.
Well, like any breakdown, you have to have a little hearing and determine that it was no fault of the crew. Just a pure equipment malfunction, and then you can get the race resailed.
Will it be determined on the water right now by the judges? Yeah, Ken just talked to Adam, who's coming back, so we might have some fresh from the mouth of the coach there.
All right, so we're waiting on word on that St. Mary's Georgetown race.
What'd you learn, Ken?
Well, I just spoke with Adam Werblow, St. Mary's coach. They don't know the outcome, but they do know that Marcus Hedegren did in fact break the tiller extension and did apply for redress for that breakdown. Whether or not he'll get it or not, we don't know. We don't know if there's going to be resale. I would imagine we'd find out pretty soon, and hopefully they resale it right away.
Well, you think would they resale it right away, or do you think they'd move it to the end of the round? Because that's normally what happens, I feel like, when there is some sort of breakdown.
Yeah. I think with the final 4 now, the stakes at hand, I feel like they would go for that resale as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's what I would hope.
I think they really want teams to enter this Final Four with all the information in front of them, knowing who they have to beat.
Well, there's but then there's the mentality that you should want to win every race anyway.
Right, but I think for the sake of maybe I'm just speaking on behalf of myself and other viewers here, we really hope to have all the information in front of us, so we're not guessing. Because right now we think Yale maybe has clinched the title by winning that race and St. Mary's losing. So St. Mary's redress hearing the resale, that could be the difference maker if we get to the end of this round.
Absolutely.
And it sorts out in that fashion.
But I just did hear the race committee say they're going to go into the sequence for this race 154, Boston College versus Georgetown. So that was going to be getting underway momentarily. Maybe they're going to grab the St. Mary's sailors and try to have this redress real quick. But if you need a Georgetown, would you need a Georgetown boat to testify as well?
I'm not sure. I think the umpire seeing it might be enough. I don't know that you need. I mean, I'm not sure what you're going to get more of the Georgetown boat that you won't have already ascertained from the race. I think the breakdown's just enough to merit a resale, regardless of whether it was a Georgetown foul. But in any case, BC Georgetown.